Perfect Talk is what it do. It's your guy DJ Playboy back with another episode, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. First up, we got to talk about the migrant issue going on in New York City and New York State. Is it really a problem, or is there more that could be done? Also, we got to talk about Lil Yachty and his podcast interview with Sexyy Red. Some people try to give him backlash for the way he reacted to a certain part. Also, we got to talk about Keke Palmer and Usher's new video called Boyfriend. Yeah, we're going to give a little review on that. And also, we got to talk about Cardi B's problematic tweet. That and much, much more, y'all. Perfect Talk Podcast, baby.
DJ Playboy.
What's good, y'all? It's your man, DJ Playboy, back with another episode of the Perfect Talk Podcast. And I'm in the building once again with my man straight out of Arizona, my guy, Ambro. What it do, brother?
Peace. Perfect Talk family. What's going on? Always a pleasure to be here on you, bro.
Happy to have you in the building, man. As always, man. How's life been? I know we chopped it up like a week ago, but how's it been in the past week?
Past week it's been hectic. Just getting ready for this music video that I shot earlier today.
Tell us about it. What's the song?
So it's the song Amora off my latest EP, Feel Good.
Okay.
It's a pretty much a love song about how I met Babe.
Okay.
But it's expressed differently, so I speak Spanish in it. I didn't fall in love with a Spanish girl, but I wanted to express it that way. Something about being on the West Coast, you know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of yeah. Do you have a strong population of Hispanic? Just the population of people that you rock out with out there?
Yeah, I got people I call family. Like the girl that's gonna be in my video, that's my little sis, her sister, fam. Like I have a lot of people that I rock with out here.
Amazing. Now I know they said there's a hurricane coming to the Southwest. Is your area expected to get that Hurricane Lee-Eury?
That's news to me.
Okay, I don't know. I know they said it's in California, but I know how far in is coming. But I know it's a hurricane touching down today or whatever. So thoughts and prayers that anybody dealing with that, because I know, especially if you're not used to hurricanes, you know what I mean? It hit different.
Yeah. I mean, but they're not used to it out here on the West Coast like that.
1,000%, you know what I mean? Stay dry out there, but definitely, like I said, my thoughts and prayers with everybody out there. On my end, my daughter, just, you know what I'm saying, went away, you know, if you're saying, for like a week with the grandparents. So I'm just rocking out, you know what I'm saying, solo dolo, trying to pump out as much content as possible. Keep putting these episodes out to y'all. Shout out to everybody on the YouTube. Y'all been showing so much support and love and everything we do. So definitely hop in the comments. Let us know, because we're going to start showcasing the comments too, you know what I'm saying, on the episode. So definitely hop in there and say something good to your guy, DJ Playboy, whoever I'm rocking out with, whether it's Ambro, Keith, my guy Spec. Shout out to everybody out there. And let's get right into it, Ambro. You know what I mean? A lot of things happened this week. So, you know what I mean? There's a lot of stories out here. But let's get right into Plicca Spotlight story. It's not necessarily always the biggest headline out there, but it's something that I want to shine a light on. It's something that wasn't on my radar until this week. Shout out to the Breakfast Club. I heard Charlamagne talking about it on Donkey of the Day and all that. It was a story that happened in North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. It's an apartment complex. Imagine, you know, only residents of the apartment complex to swim in the pool, right? And you know, the overzealous apartment manager, like wondering if the neighborhood kids is coming in, sneaking in and all that nonsense. Didn't know that this young man was there as a guest of someone who does live there, and that he was staying there. Apparently, I guess they had some type of altercations in the previous weeks and whatnot, and this one reached a head where the apartment manager, I want to say her name, Kimberly, I just had it too, Kimberly Jennings. Yep, Kimberly Jennings. She's a 62-year-old woman. Now remember, this 62-year-old white woman, 11-year-old young black boy, super disrespectful in the way she treated him. First, the altercation started with his little sister. Allegedly, she had put hands on the little sister, and the brother felt like coming over. I'm not sure if he put hands on her. I'm not sure if he splashed water on her. I heard two different accounts. But whatever the case may be, he was defending his little sister. At that point, and you've seen the video, Ambro, the woman poured her soda out on the boy, hit him with the bottle, empty bottle. It was one of the, like, this is a crazy thing to see. It's like all that over trying to get into a pool, all that over just, you know, some, like, what happened to calling the cops, Karen? I thought that was how y'all roll. Like, now all of a sudden we trying to embarrass people. We trying to, you know what I'm saying, make a humiliation party. So that situation definitely caught my attention. And then something that also caught my attention was that this week his parents, the young man's parents, and then the young girl's parents as well, they filed a federal lawsuit against this, saying that this was hate crime. You know what I'm saying? And I believe on August 4th, she was Kimberly Jennings, the 62-year-old white woman, was charged with 2 counts of simple assault on a child under 12. She actually admitted in an interview that she did do it. I mean, I guess she knows it's caught on tape as well. Something else that really stuck out to me was I don't believe she's been fired from the apartment complex. They refused to make a comment when asked if she was still employed there, which would lead me to believe she does, because they would want to separate themselves from it as much as possible if and you know, I mean, and point that out to the public if they've already done that. So the fact that this isn't being taken like serious on that level is disgusting. Also, the 11-year-old boy, his name was JC Lee-Eury, and his 8-year-old sister Jayella. They were visiting the pool at Segfield Gardens, like I said, on August 2nd. They were confronted by the apartment complex manager, Kimberly Jennings, who asked the children to leave because the pool is reserved for residents. The lawsuit claims that the children visited the complex several times to go swimming with their friends, who are residents of the complex, prior to the day of incident, and did not encounter any issues. So I'm not sure exactly what happened on that day, but the video was enough for me to see. And I'll let you talk on it, Aaron Broken. You know, I had to shine a light on it. You know what I mean? But how did you feel? I guess honestly, I sent you that.
No, I'm glad you did. I didn't hear about it until you sent me that information. That's it feels like it's something that happened in the past. Like it's that wild, like for that to be happening today.
And why she felt so comfortable doing that. Yeah.
Right. You know, and I feel like a lot more white people like that are feeling more and more comfortable being their true self. I think since Trump was in office, honestly, no bull. But.
Yeah, well, obviously things change. Yeah, you change the political landscape, and just, I guess, people being open, right, with their covert racism, not being so covert anymore.
Yeah, man, and that's just, it's disgusting, man, for you to treat a kid like that. And I know I don't have the information, but from watching the video, I don't think that kid necessarily did anything to protect his sister. He probably just like got in the way because he just stood there and took it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the willpower to just have to stay in that position as a young kid. You know,
I don't even know if it was willpower. He just might have felt like powerless. You know what I'm saying? In a sense, like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Because we can't only see that one angle of the camera. There probably was people around that didn't do nothing. That just sat by and, you know what I mean, let it happen. Or just like, I'm gonna mind my business. I don't know what's going on there. And it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, and then the fact that I'm reading the interview right here that she did after the incident, an interview that aired on WFMY TV in Greensboro on August 5th. Jennings said that she repeatedly asked Jace not to enter the pool reserved for residents, but she also apologized for her actions. The quote, the other day when he was out there, we asked him to leave and he was mouthy. And I had a soda in my hand and I tossed it on him and then I popped him. I did. I admit I did. And it was wrong. Like, the fact that she just feels so comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Like, as if this isn't like a heinous act, just saying that in a news interview. Like, as if it's like, just, you know, it's like if she was caught on video peeing outside or something, and like, I know this is wrong, I shouldn't have done this. Like, no, this is somebody's kid you just poured soda on. Like, what are you talking about? And hit and assaulted. Like, I don't know.
He poured multiple cups on the kid, so it's like, where are you sorry? Because at some point, like in that moment, you could have realized that you were wrong. Like,
she's sorry it was on tape. That's what she's sorry about. That's what it is. But yeah, like I said, the lawsuit is named Jennings, the Segfield Garden Apartments, the Segfield Realty Company LLC, and Benison Real Estate Corp. They have allegations of discrimination on the grounds of race, assault, and battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, intentional infliction of negligent retention and supervision. Like, yeah, it's there's no more to say, you know what I'm saying? They should, I don't know. I shame on you if she's still employed, you know what I'm saying? Because what more do you need?
And I just hope that little dude and the little girl get some like help, some therapy, because that can affect you like this
rest of your life.
Because they don't see the racial thing, you know what I'm saying? They're kids, so it's like this adult is treating me this way for no reason. Even if I was mouthy the other day, I'm a kid. Kids get mouthy. You just be like, hey, check yourself. Where's your parent? Like, talk to them like a child. You don't.
Where's the adult here? You know what I'm saying? Bring me to the adult. or just call the police. Not that I'm saying, but just call the police. Like that, the kids ain't gonna put up a fight if they know the cops is coming. Like, what are you talking about? It's the easiest thing you could. Why would you even put yourself in that situation? Because she's probably done it before and gotten away with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't. Karen, follow the Karen rule book. You know what I'm saying? Like, just man. Yo, but we're gonna move on to another segment. You know what I mean? Shout out to my guy Spec. He's you know what I'm saying, out doing his thing right now. But when I bring up his name, you know it's time for that segment called Put Some Respect on My Name.
My name, come up, respect. Yeah.
Let's go.
Stop playing with my name.
And that's what my guy, you know what I'm saying, Aaron, bro, I hit him with some news headlines and things that caught my eye. And he lets me know if you got respect or speculation. So something that caught my eye this week, you know what I'm saying? We got rappers that been doing it for a couple of years now, you know what I'm saying? Like Lil Yachty, however you feel about him, he's been in the game now and still making music, but also doing other things outside of music. And one of those is podcasting. He does a Safe Place podcast. Lil Yachty and Mitch Gone Mad, I believe, are the hosts, and Sexyy Red was on there. Are you familiar with Sexyy Red? Or are you familiar with Lil Yachty or Sexyy Red? I'm assuming Lil Yachty, yeah, right?
Lil Yachty, yeah. But I'm not too sure who Sexyy Red is.
I think the famous lyric is
my coochie pink, my booty hole brown.
The Pound Town
famous lyric.
that's the one people quote the most, you know what I'm saying? But I think she has a song called Pound Town. I think there's a remix out to it now, with a few rappers on it. But that is yeah, the song that Sexyy Red I think is well known for.
Okay.
But it brings to my point that Lil Yachty is we consider relatively young in the game, and he's been around for a while. You know what I'm saying? So a rapper like Sexyy Red is just even more of a rookie, way more of a rookie than, you know what I'm saying? But Lil Yachty's also now a rookie in the podcast game, because just because you're good at rapping doesn't necessarily, you know what I mean it translates over to podcasting. And you also don't have to go to school to do this. Anybody with a microphone, a camera, you know what I'm saying, could really do this. So you don't have to necessarily meet the training or education to do it. And something that happened this week was Yachty asked a question, right? And he actually got, I guess, backlash for it. You got, you know what I mean, flamed for it. When he asked Sexyy Red,
can you tell us like the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
So I'll pause it right there. I think he asked the question, he worded the question wrong. You know what I'm saying? I think he wanted to know, as an entertainer, one of the craziest things that might have happened with a fan, as a civilian, you know, stuff before you got shit popping. What's one of the craziest things that, you know, you was involved in? But also, it's a podcast. You know, we laugh and we having fun from an entertainment standpoint. Sexyy Red, I also believe, doesn't have the media training to know how to answer that question, right? Because her response was,
can you tell us like the craziest thing that's ever happened to you?
Crazy shit. And it's gonna stay between us.
I got raped before. That's the craziest thing that ever happened to me.
Maybe something a little under that.
Okay,
Maybe something. Okay,
I mean, I don't know. Like,
maybe something.
shootout?
There we go. Shootouts, you know.
There we go.
High speed?
Yeah, that's more what we were thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
You know,
Wait.
I'm sorry. What's we just want to say we are sorry.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, wait, that's definitely
that is bad.
That is unfortunate.
It's not something we should speak on.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the shootouts and stuff. Wow. You know, you have done a lot of things.
Yeah, I have.
And now you're a big rapper.
Mm-hmm.
they were like taken aback from it and laugh. And it kind of got into like a little giggling session, but it was because of the awkwardness of like, whoa, that's not what we meant. Like, you just took it to where like, that's not what we talking about, right? And then shout out to Mitch. He definitely stops and says, time out, you know, we want to apologize. You know, what happened to you was terrible, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't what we were expecting you to say. So your answer threw us off, you know what I'm saying? And then somewhere in this, you know what I mean? Like, I think she caught on like, oh, that was a little wild. And she was like, well, I was in a shootout. And then he's like, yeah, shootout, say shootout. That's the answer we looking for. But you know what I'm saying, type of thing. But I guess, like I said, I think I got respect for both of them. I got no speculation. I don't think Yachty and Mitch meant to be disrespectful by it. And I don't think Sexyy Red was trying to put them in an awkward position. And she is allowed to feel hurt. I don't think she was hurt by their reaction. I think she caught on. You know, you can read the room, like, oh, that's not what they're talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying, type of thing. Like, they not laughing because that happened to me. They laughing because my answer was so far from what they was expecting that's what's causing the awkward laughter in the room. And then, like I said, shout out to Mitch. He did step up and apologize and say, we not saying, that's, you know what I mean? That's not what we were talking about. But a lot of the people, you know what I'm saying, really felt bad for Sexyy Red in that moment. They felt that a Black woman's trauma wasn't being respected. That's always being dismissed. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is another example of that. How come? And I think a more professional podcaster would have taken that moment and maybe, like, not necessarily shied away from it, but like would have maybe, you know, found a way to go deeper into that, but also bring it back to where they wanted it to be, less awkwardly. You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily think that's where they at as journalists. But I'll let you respect or speculation. You think Lil Yachty should get backlash for? Excuse me, Lil Yachty should get backlash for his reaction in that moment to Sexyy Red's comment?
Given all the information, I could understand, like, quickly chuckling, like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not being a professional podcast or not having experience on my belt to understand how to handle a response like that. So I can understand that from the Lil Yachty side. Wow. It's well, also, like, it's not even a laughing matter. So it's because you decide to put yourself on this platform, you got to be able to conduct yourself or handle that type of information.
Exactly.
And you're right. Like, for them to chuckle like that, they weren't ready for that level of podcasting.
And that's not and that's not what they signed up for. But you can't control.
You can't control what somebody's going to say to
exactly.
You know, your question. But I feel like he needs an opportunity to explain himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of like how I want to bring it back to old news, how Jamie got backlash. And it's like, he had a chance to explain himself, so he just took down his post. Like, if these people a chance to explain themselves, if you feel a certain way, make it into a conversation. Because, you know, just the Black community as a whole, we're not necessarily given certain tools to handle that information. So when you come across it, it's kind of like, oh, whoa. Especially if it's not your life, it's like, whoa. But yeah, man, he needs to get some more experience on his belt. I'm sure it's probably a great podcast. I don't know. I don't listen to it. But I don't think he should get backlash.
Yeah, I'll admit I haven't listened to it as well. But if it is a comedy podcast, that is going to derail what the point of the podcast is. But to their defense, I don't believe it was alive, so they could have edited it out. So they were willing to show it, like, that we fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Which, because she might have felt disrespected if that was cut out, you know what I'm saying? So, like, they could have hid from it, they could have ran from it, they could have, you know what I'm saying? But I don't believe that they did, you know what I'm saying? They did. But people also like, well, you cool with her talking about shootouts, but she can't talk about sexual assault. How does that make sense? You know what I'm saying? Like, either way, it's a heinous act, you know what I'm saying? So why does one make you more comfortable than the other? You know what I'm saying? And I get that, you know what I'm saying? I do get that. And other people are like, this is why everybody don't need a podcast or a platform other than to just hear themselves speak, you know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that, you know what I'm saying? You should be allowed to make your mistakes. Huh?
Mitch, a Black dude?
Yeah, Mitch is Black. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make clarify. I was saying, like, our community is not equipped to deal with that type of information in that sense.
No, I won't even say our community. I think no matter where you're from or where you come from, some people have better training than others for that type of information. You know what I'm saying? And I think Oprah could have dealt with that. I think, you know what I'm saying? I mentioned Charlemagne earlier, but I think he has a sensitivity that could keep the conversation going and not be derailed. That's all. But he's been in radio for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? Oprah's a broadcast genius. This is a musician. You know what I'm saying? Like doing the podcast thing. He should be allowed to make his mistakes, though. I'll give him that. And I don't think anybody should be crucified for anything. You know what I'm saying? It's everyone is so quick to just pile on, but there is a teaching moment on both sides. I think that can be done here. And I don't think Sexyy Red did anything wrong. I just think for the sake of knowing you're going on a bunch of different podcasts, know the tone of what they're asking you, I guess, you know what I'm saying? But she's allowed to answer whatever way she wants, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think the question was worded the way it was left to interpretation.
And maybe it was a release for her, you know?
Exactly. So next up, I want to know if you got respect or speculation for the new Usher video featuring Keke Palmer. Earlier this week, I saw a little snippet, you know what I'm saying? It was like, I heard your boyfriend's looking for me. You seen Keke Palmer in it. You start thinking back to a couple of weeks ago, her baby daddy, Darius Jackson, who I'll be honest with you, I don't know if she's with or not with anymore. Maybe they're in a rocky moment, depending on what publications you reading or you checking out. But obviously might be a dig at him. And I think we should check out the video and then, you know, give our reaction to it. Let us know let the people out there know what we think of the song and the video.
Let's do it.
Let's get it popping.
I can't wait to explain but they say that you are useless.
How old is Usher, bro?
Ain't he like 50?
He look exactly the same.
Exactly the same.
You say he's 44. 44. I thought he was much older than us. So that's 5 years on it. So yeah, no, Usher, it was a dope video. I'll give him that. Usher's still so talented with the music too that like I think he's gonna be knocking out hits for the rest of his life. Like that took me back, you know what I mean, to a little bit of like early 2000s. You know what I mean? So like he shout out Ursh. Keke did her thing in there to show some dance moves. You know what I mean? What you thought about it?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Keke. She can't do no wrong for me. But honestly though, this was a smart move. Like for an artist and business standpoint, everybody was riding that wave. And
for both of them.
Yeah. But it totally was a petty ass shot.
You know what's my thing though, and I guess I could say this about any music video is like, I don't know, you could do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like you got like, you know what I'm saying, at that level, at Usher's level, you know what I'm saying? You could do anything, and it's like that does look like a Usher video. And I get he was doing a throwback to some of his old stuff, but it's just like I wonder, I don't know, do you think, because I noticed that when I look at BET nowadays, I still catch the videos and stuff from sometimes. I'm like, this looks like videos that when I was a kid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen a progression like that in the genre. And maybe other genres are suffering from the same thing. Maybe I don't pay enough attention to them, but I don't know, you ever encountered that with like hip hop and R&B?
I've seen some pretty dope videos like that kind of removes you from that era. Like if you think about how like J. Cole does his videos sometimes.
Kanye,
Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying? Like there are artists these days that really invest in original visions.
And I wasn't saying that they don't exist, but
okay, yeah. But I do see it's not showcased as much because everybody's just copying everyone now.
Yeah, exactly. Then yeah, exactly. So that's what I was more so like. It feels like, and not necessarily with this Usher video, but it does feel like people definitely make a carbon copy of things they've seen before because they know it works. And the people you named, the J. Cole's, the Kendricks, I even remember Kanye around, you know what I mean, the Twisted Dark Fantasy or whatever. I forgot that album. Where he was doing the Runaway video, and you know what I'm saying, he was doing all that. Like he was making full motion pictures. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I like to see, and I get why they don't. You got to spend your own money sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You got to go more into your budget. I get that, but it's just like I think the artists that do it, that do take their videos to that level, it pays off.
Yeah, but that was a dope video though. I give
100%, man. I like that, and like you said, that they played off of like the news. And Keke, I mean, I knew Keke had the dance moves, but Keke, she still got it. You know what I'm saying? She hit him with the 1-2 step.
Yeah, I don't follow many. She's one that I do follow.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. You got another reaction video in you, man. I kind of want to listen to this Amora joint, if you don't mind. And
Yeah, definitely. Oh,
let's go, man.
Mi amora, you are the one and the only I adore. Hey, mami, tú eres el único bonita. Eres la única que veo mía.
Okay. Okay. I'm feeling that, brother. I'm feeling that. You know what I wanted to ask you too? You know what that hold on. There's a Wyclef song that took me back to, man, off the Carnival. I gotta pull it up. How big was the influence was Wyclef on you as a musician?
that's my
That's
massive.
the one.
Just the carnival alone.
Yep.
That is the one. Just to be able to bring our culture into music the way he did was like refreshing.
Was it Guantanamera? I think that he had on there. That was a banger too, bro. That was it.
Yeah,
Yo, I like that. So what was the inspiration? I remember you told us what the song was about, but like what mode was you in when you were writing to that one?
A lot of times when I do my music, I always try to do an ode to my girl because like I love her. You know what I'm saying that's my queen. And I always try to find ways to express how I feel about her that other people can relate to and it will feel good. Got some other tracks that I tried. You'll never hear that, bro. But it really allowed, huh?
What decides whether like a track makes it or not?
The sound quality. And
so you can make something one night and like it, and then you know what I mean, like I come back to the studio next day and be like, this ain't it, this ain't hitting. So it's like, how do you balance that?
I sit on it because a lot of times I don't take too long of a period to work on a project. So if something doesn't make the cut, I'll sit on it, maybe just listen it for myself and take ideas from it. It's like this worked from the track, but everything else didn't. So I'm gonna take this, put it on this song, and see how I can make it work and make it sound more sonically pleasing.
Okay, so you'll take elements. The song might not make it, but the hook might, or the bridge might, or elements of the
Yeah.
Nah, I always want to know those questions, but I like it. It's dope. You said the video's on the way. How do you like choose the casting really when you do videos? Like you come up with storyline first, you get the cast first. I like what's the process?
It depends who I'm working with. Like as far as cinematographer, like if they have that structure where they can like figure out the cast, do the storyboard, I kind of just fall back and just suggest them. Like the guy I work with for this song, I let him take the lead and I just suggested things and he was flexible like that. So it was more collaborative.
And bro, moving on, respect or speculation. Rapper Cardi B earlier this month, you might have seen she got herself in some issues, legal trouble when and then eventually got it dismissed when she was through a microphone in Vegas at a concert goer. Something that happened and kind of went under the rug that I didn't notice, but I think it's something that we could talk about. Was Cardi tweeted a photo. Let's see if I can find it for you. Of two Hasidic Jewish individuals in effort like to kind of refer to like, I got Jewish lawyers, I'm gonna beat the case type of thing. You know what I mean? Let's see if I can find the picture. I believe I have it here.
Stereotypes working in favor.
So that's actually kind of what it was. So I believe that was the picture that was eventually I should say very quickly deleted. But it was something that, and I'm not doing this to make Cardi B look bad. I'm not trying to do it in any effort. But I did see that, like I said, a lot of media outlets didn't necessarily see it or shine attention on it. And when I even Google it, I only really see Jewish publications talk about it. But I guess what's dangerous with what Cardi is doing here is it's like the model minority type of thing, right? It's like you'll see like an Asian person, right? And I remember when we were in school, someone would be like, well, aren't you good at math? Well, aren't you good at science? And then it's like if you're not that stereotype, imagine how shitty you must feel, right? If you're not good at these things, or if you're a Jewish person that gets offended by this. And I believe what Cardi B was trying to say, like, from my standpoint, being a lawyer is fly. Being a lawyer is cool. So, you know what I'm saying? Having a Jewish lawyer is cool enough. So imagine being the Jewish lawyer. And I don't think she meant it in a disrespectful way, but you got to realize that, like, that's not how you do it. Like that people, that's an offensive stereotype. And then on top of that, you chose like Hasidic Jews, where most lawyers don't look like Hasidic Jews. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, a picture says 1,000 words, so she wanted to get the point across with the biggest picture. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Like I kind of want to give her a pass. I got speculation that she meant any type of disrespect with this. But also I feel like she should be educated on why this is not the compliment that you think it is.
Okay, respect is speculation.
I guess, do you think she was trying to be disrespectful with it, or you got a little speculation as an honest mistake?
She wasn't trying to be disrespectful. You can't expect much from Cardi B. Like, she's a wild girl, and you know she's living her life and her truth. So she really doesn't have much of a filter. It's these probably marketing and these people behind her trying to like make sure like, oh, you can't do that. You know, managing that. Like Cardi B is a hood chick who made it.
And she keeps it raw.
She's raw since the beginning. So, I mean, I don't find it disrespectful, but it's in bad taste. You know what I'm saying?
Good way to word it. Definitely good way to word it. Real quick, I know before we get up out of here, I want to ask you. Actually, let's take it to my favorite segment. It's called Have You Heard? There were like a couple headlines that I thought, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to pull up and just get your opinion on it. One of them that's stuck out to me was we got a female governor here. Her name is Governor Hochul in New York. And we have a black mayor in New York City, Mayor Adams. And I don't know if they get along with each other. I mean, it seems like they have been getting along with each other, but this past week she wrote a letter saying that the New York City isn't taking isn't taking state aid to deal with the migrant situation, where a certain amount of money has been put aside and New York City just hasn't used those resources. They've turned down things, and Mayor Adams has responded with a few of these things. But I think one of the things that really brought it to a head was there was a picture of migrants sleeping outside of a shelter in the Roosevelt Hotel. That really, once that hit the press, that was something that felt like, oh, all right, now she got to write her letter, and now, you know, I mean, he has to respond, and who knows where the truth lies, and going back and forth with that. That's not really what I want to talk to, but what's happening now in New York, and even where I stay in upstate New York, is the migrant situation is here. Like there's a motel that's been cleared out for migrants, you know what I mean, that are here. Did you encounter any, like, I'm assuming there's a migrant population within where you stay because you're in Arizona. But it was something that I think that we as New Yorkers, and I can only speak for us, but also like other states, I imagine, that aren't border states like that, we just didn't have the sensitivity for it. And I don't really, these are people, so I can't say I respect the move of Republican governors and leaders shipping these people to what's known as sanctuary states or sanctuary cities, because these are people. They're not monopoly board pieces and things of that nature. But what I will say that it has done is brought the issue front and center right in our face, because people are willing to protest and say, not in my neighborhood, or we don't want this here. But you weren't making all that noise when you guys out there in Arizona were saying the same thing, or whatever, you know, wherever you fall on the battle, we weren't having the sensitivity for what was happening. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just something like how do you feel about the whole situation? Because I'm a child of an immigrant. You're a child of an immigrant, right? You were born here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know what I'm saying? So we're first generation Americans, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we understand that maybe with a certain sensitivity that people come here. and begin their life over for their children, to make better for their children. Whereas I think, obviously there's some people here who aren't for it, who don't realize that they were immigrants at one time or another. But I guess where do you fall on the issue? Because I do think this is going to be a hot button issue in the next election coming up.
Well, first off, I didn't hear that.
Okay.
Because that's wild.
You didn't know that they were coming to New York?
No, I didn't hear that was an issue in New York.
Really?
Yeah, such a melting pot. Like, you would think that they would establish something for migrants to that.
I think it's because of the number. They've gotten a lot since, I think it's been started since last spring. I just think they weren't prepared for it because they just started showing up. I believe like they were sending migrants to like Kamala Harris's address, you know what I'm saying, just to like put it on her front door, you know what I'm saying. So, but there was no, the resources might be there, but there was no preparation to have them ready. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of like just in the same way. But yeah, no, it's something that, even like I said, I'm in upstate New York. I'm not in a big city at all. And they've been shipped here, for lack of a better term. And some people aren't happy about it. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, you know what I'm saying, have comments to say. Some people protest. Some people are not with it.
But that's nothing new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my immigrants always got shit when they came to the US.
True.
Like, as a Haitian person in New York City, you know how the type of hate that Haitians receive from other Black people,
especially like the early '90s and shit like that.
Yeah. So it's always been around. I guess now it's being thrown in the city's face. So now everybody is like, I don't know how to word it, but it's like now everybody's aware that immigrants are coming. Before, you just knew your neighbor was an immigrant because of their accent or the person at the store or whatever the case may be. But now it's the forefront, and we all are involved in this decision.
100%.
But I feel like they need to get on it. If they got the money to do something to help these people, they need to get on it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, you can put someone on this task to at least set it up, and then when you feel like the city has time or the state has time, address it. But for you to do nothing, like that's no bueno.
Yeah, like it's and they don't know if Mayor Adams or the powers that be in New York City wanted, the migrants to be outside because it's a way to ask for more federal aid. It's a way to say, make it look like more of a crisis than it might be. Whereas I guess Hochul's trying to protect her ass and be like, yo, I gave y'all the resources. Don't act like y'all out here struggling. Like, y'all turn shit down. You know what I mean? So
it's gonna get messier.
Yeah, it definitely will, especially as the political season heats up. And something that you said on with just Haitians in like the early '90s. We mentioned Wyclef earlier, just being an influence of music, but I think he really changed the way Haitians were viewed in this country, just because of him just being such a superstar. The Fugees, I say the Fugees as a whole, it really was something that but Wyclef just, waved the flag and, took it all over the world. So yeah, definitely, I think it's an immigrant nation. Like the entire, everybody came here at some point, well, whether boat, plane, or swimming. So it's like you do have to have a certain sensitivity for people. But I do see the other side of it. Like, we giving billions of dollars to Ukraine. There's people here that don't know where their next meal coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like even, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was a wildfire in Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? And all that. And they getting $700 checks, you know what I'm saying? For aid from FEMA. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like they're real picky and choosy where that money's going. And so to be somebody that lives here and works here, you know what I mean? Luckily, I'm not in that situation, but there are people that don't know where their next meal is coming from, their next check is coming from. And I can see why other people being let in, receiving certain assistance, might make them feel a type of way. You know what I'm saying? There's two sides to every coin. And like I said, I don't commend or condemn what leaders in border states did by shipping migrants out, because it did make it. I don't think as a New Yorker I'd be talking about this issue if it wasn't front and center. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it was a way to be like, yo, y'all wasn't having sensitivity to what's going on. Like, what up?
No, that's a good point. Seeing it and the way you explain the other side. Like, yeah, let's fix home first. Like, bye.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion, man. Something else I want to know: have you heard? First week on a lot of campuses, you know what I'm saying, happened. Students were being dropped off by their parents. Apparently, there was a big fight on the Howard University campus in Washington, D.C., where a throng of 50 or so young people had been monitoring, you know, when students would be coming back on campus, and a large fight broke out in a restaurant near campus. People were injured, you know what I'm saying? There was video of it. It was something that I think is a more common issue, you know what I'm saying? I think in campuses all over the world, because you got a lot of that right going on. Like locals don't like the out of town kids coming to school. You know what I'm saying? It's something. We went to SUNY University together.
Experience.
Yeah. But even I realized how blessed we were now, because I you know, I still live around the area and I see how isolated it is from the rest of Albany, from everything else. Like it's literally right off the highway. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no other reason for you to be there unless you were going to that university, because there's nothing else around there other than hotels and whatnot. So it's a blessing because it kind of puts you in your own world, right? You know, utopia. But on a campus like Howard campus, from what I understand, it's wide open. You know what I'm saying? Like you out there. There's a lot of campuses like that. You know what I'm saying? Like USC is in the hood, right? You know what I'm saying? Like and there's supposed to be a certain understanding between law enforcement and locals that you don't fuck with the college kids because the college kids bring the money in. You know what I'm saying? And apparently that's not, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess, you know what I'm saying? DC is also a place where law enforcement probably, you know what I'm saying, is struggling to deal with locals on their own level. You know what I'm saying? So to even set protections for other people might just be something that is they need more resources for. But I don't know. It's something I want to point a light at this story too, because I got a kid, and luckily she's not about to go to college right now, but at some point I'm gonna have to reach that point where she's gonna move out the nest. And it's something when you think you're sending your kid to a university, a prestigious one, for something like this to happen where your kid's getting injured, you know what I'm saying, where campus has to issue apologies because this happened the week of the first week of opening week of campus. Like that doesn't make a parent feel comfortable at all. You know what I'm saying? And there's really no assurances that you could prevent this from happening again. But I guess I'll let you speak on it, and just like, I don't know, when you hear shit like that still happening in 2023, like, you know, does it bring back memories?
That's what it does for me. Like I'm thinking of when we used to kind of go off campus and go party, and what was that other school, the community college?
Hudson Valley.
I remember Hudson Valley. They could not stand that. Like I don't even get it. Like,
and they wasn't.
It's not my fault. I got to stop.
And they, you know what I'm saying? Like they was actually kids in school, which is the crazy part. It's not even like it was just kids in the neighborhood. Like those were actually kids in school that was trying to like do shit. But beef was gonna start. Like that's just college kids. They're at that age, hormones, everybody competing over the same girls. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be something where you got money, you dress fly, jealousy is just gonna be something that exists. It could be Harvard and Yale across the street from each other, and motherfuckers will have beef. If you know what I'm saying. So regardless, it's just something that exists, but it makes you feel so uncomfortable as a parent. You know what I mean?
It doesn't make me feel uncomfortable because I remember coming up getting into fights. Like it's part of growing up, like and
coming of age.
And maybe because I'm pretty old school with that thought process. It's like you gotta let these kids become tough, let them experience life.
It's true. Yeah.
And I got into a fight on campus. I got into a fight off campus. Like at least okay. Nah, honestly, you gotta let these kids be kids. I don't think it's as big of an issue for these kids as these adults are making. You know what I'm saying?
I believe there was a couple stabbings, right? But also like it wasn't shooting. What? I believe there was a couple stabbings that happened in that incident. You know what I mean? That's what the thing is. Like, I'm all for that. Like, let them fight, let them toughen up. But fights could turn into life-ending injuries nowadays. You could hit your head the wrong way, you know, and not even nowadays, always, you know what I'm saying? You get kicked in the head the wrong way, and now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's too precious of a thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? You guys are here to better your life and to be caught up in that shit. But you got to defend yourself. You don't know what's coming at you from left and right, and you can't just allow people to punk you. So I get where that's coming from. It's a tough one as a parent.
It is a tough one. I mean, and I'm not a parent also, so not to say that I don't have that protected nature about me, but I'm not a parent yet. So
yeah.
My thought process might
change. I'm thinking about my nephew too. Like he's at that age where he's a sophomore in high school, junior, you know what I'm saying? He's about to, it's just like, you know what I mean? I guess because I'm a parent, I feel for a parent getting that call or whatever the case may be. Like it's rough.
I kind of want my nephew to get into a fight. Like he needs a fight too. Like
you one of them cousins or uncles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Send him outside. Rough him up a little bit. Get off the porch.
You could be a nerd or a smart or a geek, whatever you want to label them as when they're like into something, but you still got to be tough, man. Like
life is tough, man. Life is tough. Before we get up out of here, bro, I got one more for you, man. AI is changing the world daily. There's new things coming out. It's getting scarier by the day. And the new AI, I guess, horror movie that I seen this week in the news was there's an AI software, right, that has a 93% accuracy of guessing your password just by listening to keystrokes. So, for instance, if you're a scammer, you're at Starbucks, right, and people are logging into that. This AI program with 93% accuracy just by listening to you typing your password in can get it. 93% of the time is going to get it right.
Oh, it needs to get stopped.
Like, who made this? Like, what was the evil genius that was like, this is going to make life better?
I mean, once the foundation was laid for AI, everybody was going, because the knowledge is out there to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So scammers are like, oop, new trick. You know what I'm saying? Look into it and see how it works. That's wild. I thought the Drake AI joint was like, bro.
When they made the song, they made his own song with the Drake shit you talking about?
Yeah.
They said the research involved a team of computer scientists from the UK who trained the AI model to identify the sounds produced by a keystroke on a 2021 version of a MacBook Pro. During a Zoom video conference, the AI tool exhibited remarkable accuracy in listening to keystrokes picked up by the laptop's microphone. That's scary, man. And that's just the tip of the iceberg on how scary it could get. I was hearing the shit about, they could do the voices, right? Your voice is out there. You're a recording artist, but I'm a podcaster. Our voice is out there. So someone could just take a voice, call family, you know what I mean? Act like it's us because they put the words in. And now they're like, yo, mom, yo, you got to send $500 to I'm kidnapped, you know what I'm saying? And people was falling for it. People was really doing, you know what I'm saying? Like getting caught up because it's that real. It sounds that real. You're able to tweak it to that point. Like people are making money off of just AI models on Instagram. Like people are sending them Cash App and this, that, and the third. And like, there's a dude that you sending money to. Like
it's getting out of control. And even like with these apps, that you can take your pictures and they'll make you like, we don't read agreements already.
No one reads terms and conditions. No one.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so you're selling your likeness to some of these apps, so they can just use what you look like to do other things.
Yeah, I remember that one app that made you look old. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I think it was like, it's a Russian company that makes it. They might be using your da-da-da. And I was like, nah, I'm not using it, right? But how silly is that? You know how many cameras catch my face on a daily basis? Everybody got a camera on their doorbell, bro. Like, it was like something I heard the other day that's like, you know what I'm saying? Because you think you're safe, but you're really not. Because people was like how Elon Musk wants to add this thing where you can upload your government ID to Twitter, right? Or X, I should say, as it's called now. And people were like getting skeptical, like, government ID, why do we need that? Like, what are you trying to do, right? And the dude on the radio, I'm not even gonna try to take credit for it. The dude on the radio was talking about it. He was like, millions of people are going out Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. They handing their ID to a bouncer who's gonna scan it underneath some shit that you don't even know and hand it right back to you just so you could go in and get drunk. So it's like we'll be overly protective on one end, but be overly trusting on the other end. It's like the same type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna download this app. I don't want TikTok on my phone how much shit are you giving your data to and your likeness to? You know what I'm saying? Every time I go to somebody's crib, the delivery, I'm on their camera. They got me already. Like Lil Meech, they caught Lil Meech cheating on a ring cam. You know what I'm saying? It's like you out there whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he got caught on the ring cam.
Oh yeah, you see that? Yeah, he got caught on the neighbor's ring cam. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yo, AI is scary, bro. And honestly, everybody should take precaution before trying to use anything. I use AI. I'm learning about AI. So
I like ChatGPT. ChatGPT's fine, but I'm also a little nervous about what's on the horizon.
I use it very sparingly. You know what I'm saying? Like if I need to come up with a line, give me that's about it.
Yeah. That's my fear too, though, is that it's gonna kill creativity. And I think that's everyone's fear. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want someone making a song by typing it in. Make a beat. You know what I'm saying? Like do things, but Rick Rubin said the other side of it. He was like, AI has been involved in music for decades. Like, what do you think the drummer said when someone came up with a drum machine? He's like, oh shit, I ain't gonna work no more. You know what I'm saying? Because now I don't need to hire a drummer. I could come up with a drum machine. Now I can play another instrument while is playing automatically on a loop. You know what I'm saying? So, but it also hasn't killed the industry of drummers, right? So, right. You know what I'm saying? Real creativity gonna survive. You know what I'm saying? Real creatives are gonna really, you know what I mean, stick around and make it. So we'll see what it do.
And when I said that, the whole using it for a line, I didn't mean for like music or whatever, because I tried that. It's hard to express how I want to express myself. Like real creatives, they can't use it. AI won't help.
Yeah. That's why I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's people who think like they could just sit back and let AI do all the work. And it's like, nah, man, it's not how it works. You know what I mean? It do take a level of work, and I respect it, but it's also, don't let it kill the creative. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't let it kill the creative.
Killing education too, because students are just using AI to do their papers. And like, I think that was an issue in like a major school. I can't remember. I don't know. You might have covered it, but
no, I heard something this week, dude. They coming up with new ways to combat it because with the new school year coming up, because there's so much of it going on in terms of students faking new papers by using ChatGPT. And bro, that's another episode in the books, man. Thank you. It's I know it's a busy day for you. You running around shooting videos, fashion shows, doing all types of things, but I appreciate you coming through, man. Where can my people find you at on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at AmbroIG. And again, if you still use Facebook, it's AM_BRO, Ambro. TikTok, AmbroIG. Spotify, Apple Music, all music platforms, Ambro, AM_BRO.
Tell them about the EP too. Go check it out. You can find it Apple Apple Music and Spotify. You said, what's the name of the EP?
The name of the EP is called Feel Good, and it's 6 tracks of feel good music. Go check it out on all platforms. You will not regret it.
100%, man. You can find your boy DJ on Twitter or known as X nowadays as at DJ Also find me on Instagram at PLICCAPEEZY, PLICCAPEEZY. Follow Perfect Talk Podcast at Perfect Talk Radio. Check out the website www.perfecttalkpodcast.com for every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast and all the other things I'm doing. Man, it's out there. Go check it out. Go do the damn thing. Shout out to my guy DJ Show at Money Talks Radio on Instagram. Go follow us over there. Every episode of Perfect Talk Podcast available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We on YouTube. Shout out everybody on YouTube. Shout out to all the new subscribers. Go subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Tell them about it. Hit that like button. Hop in the comments. You know what I'm saying? You might see a comment up in lights over here on Perfect Talk Podcast. And if you're not checking us out on YouTube, you just listening to us, shout out to the OG listeners. But go check us out on the YouTube. You know what I mean? We got some visuals on there. You know what I mean? So we're going to do the damn thing. And I got to give thoughts and prayers right now to everybody. The wildfires that happened out in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Like wildfires don't really hit close to home here. You know what I'm saying? Like would it be in Canada? We actually was covered. You might have seen it on the news in just like a yellow smog, orange smog. That was like the closest that it came to us. But just seeing the destruction of what it did in Hawaii, and that knowing that the siren system wasn't working the way it should have worked. I'm not gonna front like I know all the details of it, but just a tragedy. And just seeing cars burnt, like knowing that people didn't have the time to know that they could evacuate or just, you know what I mean, 911 wasn't working at a point in time. That my heart goes out to the people out there. So thoughts and prayers to all the victims, the people that passed away. I believe the death toll might be in the 90s if it's not past that. So, and you guys get wildfires out around your way or not?
In California, but
California.
I mean, we're like right there.
Oh, got you. So
like,
when they get it, you probably get some of the smoke blowing towards y'all and all that.
Yeah.
Got you.
We don't got much trees and stuff here like that.
Nah, it's something that like is, and with climate change, it's becoming more and more a reality in places that weren't used to it before. So, like I said, thoughts and prayers to everybody out there that had to deal with the Hawaii wildfires. Bro, you watching anything new nowadays? I got some fights coming on tonight. I got the UFC. It's going down. I believe my guy Sean O'Malley is fighting Sterling, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gonna check that out. Canelo, I believe, is fighting. Or if that, I don't know when that's happening, but I know that's coming up soon. But I know tonight I'm checking out that UFC shit. What you watching nowadays?
Dang, I wish I could catch that Sean O'Malley fight. Be at that fashion show, but I'm kind of like looking into like little docu-series, mini-series here and there. I actually came across this really cool one called Immortal.
Okay.
It's on Amazon Prime.
What's it about?
It's about facing death. It's a real trippy kind of like Black Mirror-esque type of show. So it has maybe like 5 or 6 stories in one movie. And it just shows how people deal with death in a supernatural way where some people aren't actually dying. So like, let me give you a quick sample. One of the stories was this shorty and her husband was struggling. So they came up with this idea for him to, like it's an insurance scam for him to kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
She was pregnant, so her and the baby just to eat off of that.
Mm-hmm.
So like towards the end of it, he go up on top of the roof, he electrocutes himself, falls down, and we're led to believe he's dead. So she go over there and she picks up the phone and she calls some dude like he actually did it. So like she convinced him to kill himself. To go be with the other dude. And karma instantly hits her and like she kind of slips on, like she goes into like she's about to get the baby or whatever. Yeah. So her water breaks and she ends up slipping on that, falling on her stomach, hitting her head. She dies, and then homeboy wakes up, so he don't end up dying. So it's like it was just really trippy stories like that. It's really, really good. I wouldn't recommend anyone check it out. It's Immortal,
but it's like it's fiction, right? It's like
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's people acting. Okay. Now I'm gonna check that out. Immortal on Amazon Prime. Okay.
Yeah, Immortal. And I saw Cocaine Bear yesterday.
Is it good?
Watch it. Hilarious. All that.
I haven't been to the movies in a while, but I went this past week. I saw the Ninja Turtles movie. I took my daughter. Me and my girl went. Funny movie. They lean into a lot of pop culture. They lean into a lot of New York City culture because they're in New York City. And it's funny. Yeah, literally, like we was only people in the theater because of the night that we went. It was like a slow night for the theater, but we was cracking up. It was hilarious. We was literally laughing out loud. Huh?
Is it animated?
It's animated. Yeah, it's kind of, you seen the Miles Morales Spider-Man movies?
Okay, like that.
Yeah, okay. It definitely was inspired by that. It's like more of a comic book style with the illustrations, but it was fly. Seth Rogen, I think, produced it, and it's got Ice Cube is in it, Jackie Chan is in it. Like shit is fly, bro. It's surprising. Like I'd watch it again. It was funny too. Before we started recording, I was watching Cheaters. I was like, because we got the Roku channel, and the Roku channel is like 700, 800 channels of just crazy shit. And they got Cheaters got its own channel. I was like, you get cool. I went down a Cheaters rabbit hole just watching Cheaters. Like, but that's a depressing ass show because you just it is,
bro. It is.
You really seeing people just hurt, bro, in front of the camera. But it's also
like, damn, I'm caught.
It's all. Not that.
Wait, you talking about the other person being hurt?
I was gonna say the poor people's embarrassed. They you can tell they embarrassed, but the people who called the show to come there just be looking so hurt, bro, and you feel it, like, you know what I'm saying? They hurt by it, but it just shows you how crazy life could be.
It was the new Jerry Springer, no bull. Like,
Yeah. They got another channel that like show Maury Povich. Like Roku's smart. They know what they're doing. Like if I couldn't pay for TV, I would be like, I don't give a fuck. I just watch the Roku shit all day because there's so much free programming on there. You know what I mean? So
if you don't, if you end up like if you just want to switch it up, Pluto TV is free also.
I heard about Pluto. I think I might have watched something on there for like my daughter wanted to watch one specific thing, so I downloaded it, but I never got into it. It's fly.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it has like sections. So like if you like true crime, there'll be like 7 channels dedicated to shows about true crime. And it's like multiples of it. So you can feel like you're streaming.
Gotcha. They play commercials on there and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way. They need to go back to the commercial model. Just play commercials so you could give me the shit for free.
Yeah, commercials, man.
Yeah, give me the shit for free. Just make your money off of them. Make your money off of fucking, you know what I'm saying? Was Mop and Glow and all the motherfuckers. Dawn and shit. Yo, Ambro, thank you for coming through, man. Shout out to you. Yo, get some rest. I know you got the rest of the night that you're gonna be running 100 miles an hour. And I'm about to go get ready for this UFC and say goodbye to the people, brother.
All right, everyone have a blessed life. Thank you for having me again, Plicca. I'll see y'all next time.
Peace.